Hi, my name is Nicole, and this is the CK Diary podcast. I hope you guys are having a great week. We have had a good week so far. It is only Monday. I'm filming right now at 9 p.m. and it is going to be short and sweet. I won't have a pattern spotlight this week. My husband has the laptop that I usually edit on because my laptop has kind of crapped out these last few weeks. And I'm not able to edit on mine anymore. The editing software just isn't, I don't know what's going on. It just isn't compatible with my laptop anymore, which my laptop is like 7 years old. And my husband wanted to get me a new laptop, but it's so expensive and I just can't, I don't know, I can't justify it because I usually use his laptop and it's fine. But I couldn't this week. He has it with him at a conference. So I am going to be using iMovie on my iPhone, and it is going to be really simple and short and quick. I just had a few things that I wanted to show you guys. Oh, and I wanted to say too, I am going to be out of town this weekend and into next week for my best friend's wedding. So there won't be a podcast next week, but everything will be back to normal in 2 weeks. All right, so let's see. I have one kind of finished object. It's more like a finished swatch to show you. This is for the Heirloom quilt cardigan. I showed you the beginning of it, or the beginnings of it last week. I love the way it turned out. I don't think I finished this last podcast. I don't think so. Did I? I don't think so. Either way, I really like the way that it turned out. This does not meet gauge. I am going to try it on a bigger needle. And my stitching was really uneven in some places, you can see. But this was my first real color work attempt. So I'm hoping for better results next time. And I'm in the middle of that swatch right now, but I didn't bring it over here to show you. Now for my whip that I've been working on this week, I'm trying to finish this before we leave. We leave on Thursday. Let me see. I've got it all tangled up in the yarn. I am almost done. This is the Sophie shawl. I'm getting way ahead of myself. I said this was going to be short and sweet, but the Heirloom quilt cardigan is by Katrin Seeberger, and you can find that pattern on Ravelry. I'll link that down in the description below. But this is my Sophie shawl by Petite Knit. This is the one I'm making for myself. Can you guys see that? Almost done. Just down to the very last few stitches. I'm going to try to finish this before we go because I want to start a new project while we are on the road. I'm making really good progress in my whip list that I had. These were my whips that I carried over from last year. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So I haven't highlighted it. So these are my whips. I finished, this will be my third one that I finished on my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 whips that I carried over. I do have 2 more, but like I said, those are MIA. I have no idea what happened to them, and I am trying desperately to find them. And I'm sure they will pop up eventually. So this one will hopefully be done by, it will certainly be done, I would imagine, by the next time I record. But hopefully it will be done before Thursday, which would be really, really nice. And if that's the case, then I will do a finished object Friday. Oh, little fiber. I will do a finished object Friday in my shorts on YouTube. All right, and the only other thing I have to talk about today is my Orange Blossom yarn crawl haul. So I couldn't really do the Orange Blossom yarn crawl this year because my husband was out of town this past weekend, and then we're gonna be out of town. We're leaving on Thursday, so I really do have a couple of days, but I would have to, since it's during the week, my husband can't come with me because he has to work. So I would have to drive everywhere by myself with the boys. And I think the furthest shop in the yarn crawl is like 4.5 hours away from us. And I just could not swing that on my own. So I went to the closest shop to us, which is She Sells Yarn and More in Daytona. Well, it's in Ormond Beach, which is practically Daytona. And it was the best experience ever. I made a post about it on my Instagram tonight. So if you guys already saw that, you already know. But the owner, her name is Helen. I feel like I'm like really low. Oh, and I'm wearing my my Cozy Corner CK shirt that my friend Laurel made for me. Okay, so anyway, we went to She Sells Yarn and More, and I was a little nervous because I had my 3-year-old and my 5-year-old with me, and I was nervous about them, you know, getting into the yarn and getting into the notions, and obviously I would keep them out the best of my abilities. But if you have kids, you know that they're quick. Like toddlers are so fast and they can destroy things very quickly. So I was a little nervous, but as soon as we got in the door, the owner of the shop, her name is Helen, she told me that she had a box of toys that the boys could play with. So she went and set the boys up with some toys, and then she sat and played with them for a long time too. And she told me to take my time and to enjoy shopping. And she was just so accommodating and so sweet. And then I was like halfway done shopping, and I heard the boys start asking her about cookies because they had seen cookies, and she told them that she could get them a cookie. So I walked over there to make sure, you know, they weren't imposing, but she had special She Sells Yarn cookies for the yarn crawl. And so she set them up with a cookie and a water, and they brought their toys over to the table, and they played for like another 15 minutes probably while I went and shopped. And I had to like set a timer. Like I was like, all right, boys, you have 2 minutes left, because I was ready to go. I'd already checked out and everything, and they did not want to leave. But anyway, so I've got my little haul here. I don't think I can put pictures and stuff on with iMovie. So this is going to be a very not edited video. It's hardly going to be edited, but maybe I can, well, I can like split the frame and put a picture up, but I'm not going to do that. While I was there, I decided to shop for my oldest son's sweater yarn. And I can't remember what it's called, but it's the dinosaur yarn, or the dinosaur sweater that Knitting for Olive just put out. And I'll put the link for that in the description below as always. But I went for the main color. I went with Cascade Yarns 220 Superwash. It's 100% superwash wool, and it's a worsted weight. Let's see. It's got, okay, here it is. It's 220 yards for 100 grams. This is a little bit, I think this is a little bit thicker. They do use a worsted weight yarn in the dinosaur pattern, but I do think it's a little bit thinner, like maybe leaning more towards like a light worsted or a DK. But I think this will be fine. If the sweater is a little bit big, it's not going to hurt anything. He'll grow into it. It was only $11.85, which is really nice. I did want to use the 220 Superwash Merino. Let me grab that out really quick, see if I can find that, this bag, because it's softer. What is this? Yeah, 220 Superwash Merino. It's softer, but they only had like a really light gray, and I didn't really want to do that light gray for the body of his sweater, so I went with this instead. This one is charcoal, and I do love a charcoal gray. I feel like it's getting blown out a little bit. There you go. So I got 5 skeins of this, and I'm going to do the 6-year-old size sweater because I'll make it for them in the winter, and he'll be closer to 6. And then, oh, sorry. Okay, this is my contrast color. This is the charcoal. That's one of the colors for the dinosaur detail. I'm so sorry. This was the main color, the main sweater color. This is jet. So it's a very, very dark gray, maybe even leaning towards black. I don't think it's like quite a true black, but it kind of looks like it in the camera. But I got 5 skeins of this, and I got 5 skeins of this. I can't hold them all up. And then I got 1 skein of the contrast, and then I got this there's like, I think there's like 4 colors that you need for the dinosaur decal, or the dinosaur, what would you call that? The dinosaur portion of the sweater. And so this is the green that I got for it. I really liked this green with this black. I thought it looked really nice. And then I got this for, I think it's for the spikes on the dinosaur. And then you needed 2 other colors, but I have worsted yarn, like worsted scraps left over from other projects that I've done. And you only needed like 3 grams or less for the other pieces. Like there's white for the teeth, and I definitely have 3 grams of white worsted yarn in my scraps. And so that is the yarn that I got for that. The yarn that I got for the dinosaur was the 220 Superwash Merino. I think I already showed that to you guys. I'm a little scatterbrained right now. It's been a really long day. We did a lot of driving, and it was so hot out today. I mean, you can see, like, I look so greasy. I had to put my hair up. It was just so hot today. It was ridiculous. But thanks for bearing with me. All right, this is the last of the yarn that I got. I always get minis whenever I go to yarn shops because I like to have it for my Coziest Memories blanket. This is the fingering weight one that I'm working on. I've got 3 rows finished. I think I'm doing 10 squares in each row, and I want to do 11 rows. So I always get minis whenever I go. This one is Alcott, I don't know if that's right, by Olive and 2U. Let me see. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It is a fingering weight 4-ply, super fine. Is there anything? It says Ormond Beach. Oh, is the colorway Ormond Beach? Oh, look at that. I didn't even realize. So the yarn shop's in Ormond Beach. So I guess this was a special skein dyed for their yarn shop because the colorway is Ormond Beach. Olive and 2U are out of Orlando, I'm pretty sure. So I see a lot of their yarns in the Florida yarn shops. And then the other one that I got is Beach Bunny. Beach Bunny is also, I think Beach Bunny is local to Ormond Beach. They're nearby if not. This one's called Lemon Twist. It is 100 yards of fingering weight yarn. It is 80% 19.5 micron. I just heard about micron in a Wool Needles Hands podcast, but I can't remember what it is. But it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And I just thought this bright yellow was fun, and I don't think I've had anything like this yet. So kind of looks green on the camera, I feel like, but maybe it is greenish. I don't know. I felt like it looked really neon yellow, but now it's kind of looking like lime. So those were the last of the yarns that I got. And then I got some little goodies. So let me pull that stuff out to show you. I love knickknacks, and I used to hate knickknacks, and now I'm like all about knickknacks. I think it's like, I guess I'm getting old. I don't know. I love a good knickknack now. So I got this cute pin. It kind of felt like 90s Lizzie McGuire or early 2000s Lizzie McGuire to me. It says I knit, that's my superpower. But just the font and the colors kind of made me feel like early 2000s. And I really liked it. I got this sock ruler because it was $25, so I feel like it's kind of pricey. But I've been waiting to finish a pair of socks because I lost my sock ruler. And I didn't want to, I've done the thing where I've like measured my foot before and then measured the foot of the sock with my tape measure, but it always turns out a little too short. So I wanted to try my sock ruler this time to see if it would work, and then I lost it. Literally have not been able to find it for 2 weeks probably. I've been looking everywhere for it. My sock's been sitting untouched because I just haven't been able to find it. And I bought this, got home, and I wasn't even looking for it, and I found it, which, like, story of everyone's life. I feel like I hear people say that kind of thing all the time, but it was very frustrating. And then I got these cute little greeting cards. They're from Northern Ireland, I think, and they're from someone named Thomas Joseph. They had a lot of Thomas Joseph stuff at She Sells Yarn. I don't know anything about him, but I really want to look him up and learn about him because everything was so cute. They had like little keychains and like salt shakers. They had a bunch of little stuff and it was really cute. But it's 10 greeting cards and there's 5 different styles. So I want to show them to you because they're just so sweet. So a little penguin on a sheep. Little herd. How cute that is. All the detail in the water. Another little herd with some cows. And then you've got the little sheep butts. These are cute. I thought they were cute. My husband's probably gonna make fun of me that I bought Yarny greeting cards. All right, and for the last thing I got, I thought this was just so neat. So this is from Wonderland Yarns. It's called Blast Off. It is a fair trade from Nepal. It is a 100% felted wool bag that is lined. And it's just a little notions pouch. And my 5-year-old told me the other day, we had a long conversation about it. He told me the other day that he wanted to be an astronaut, and I thought that was so sweet. So I've been getting a lot of, I have been anyway, been getting space themed things for them because he's always been interested in the planets and in outer space. But especially now that he's saying he wants to be an astronaut, I'm definitely going to be getting some astronaut things for him. Oh, and I forgot about this. Helen also gave me a couple of stickers for the boys, which was so sweet. But I need to leave those out or I'm going to forget about them again. But my 5-year-old, he told me, he was like, Mommy, how far away is the moon? I was like, well, it's really, really far away. It's, you know, way above the clouds. And he was like, okay, well, I think I want to go to the moon, but I don't know if I want to be that far away from you for that long. And I was like, oh, buddy, well, you'll be an adult and things will be different then, you know, and I don't want you to be that far away from me for that long either. But if you want to be an astronaut, I think that's super awesome. Or I was like, if you want to do that, that's super awesome. And he was like, I think I want to be an astronaut. And I just thought it was so sweet. And my husband was like beaming. He was so proud of him for having that thought at 5 years old. But yeah, I just think it's super cute. And then Knit and Stitch Boutique, which I love that, but I can't drive that far. It's 2.5 hours away. I can't drive that far, just me and the boys. I mean, I guess I could, but it would be a really far drive just to go to a yarn shop with the boys. They probably would not like that very much. And they are on, you know, Cocoa Beach is the Space Coast. So they have a bunch of rocket ship space stuff. So every time we go, I always get something space themed whenever we go there. But yeah, I think that's it. I showed you all of the things that I got. I already talked to you about life stuff. I think that's it. This is going to be a short and sweet podcast. I so appreciate you guys watching. Oh, I forgot. There was a woman there at She Sells Yarn Today. And she said that she had seen one of my podcasts and she was telling me that she's part of a knitting group near where I live. So I asked if they were accepting new members, and I might be joining a knitting group. I mean, I'm definitely going to go to some of their meetings. I'm super excited to maybe have a group to be a part of now. There aren't a whole lot of women in my area that knit, and we had a little knitting group in our neighborhood, but most of the women weren't able to keep doing it. So it'll be exciting to be a part of a new knitting group. But yeah, I think that is all I had to talk to you about today. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you back in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Bye.